Hey guys, Saturday, March 21st. I hope you guys are doing well. Uh, if you're not, then I pray that you will soon. I think this thing will be over before too long. We all just need to hang in there. Anyway, this was some of the things that I got out of the creek a couple days ago, and I thought I'd go over them with you. Um, it was what I would call a kind of a polishing stone kind of day. I found a lot of polishing stones. I'll start off with this piece here, though. It's a really beautiful piece here that I'm not really sure what it was used for. Don't know if it was a ceremonial piece or, maybe a jewelry piece, but I think it may be a type of mica, but it's fairly dense. And this thing was ground all the way around the edge and formed into this shape. But really a beautiful piece here, and it's all peppered with garnets in there. I don't know if you can see the garnets in it, but beautiful piece. Could be a game piece, maybe even. I'm not real sure. Anybody got any ideas on it? Let me know. It's another piece here. Could be an effigy. It's this dual material, the quartz and the black stone. Although it could be a tool, might be an awl. There's oil, a little bit of oil right in here and oil right in there too. So it could have been used for puncturing hides, but pretty neat piece. I love finding these stones that are dual material like this. They're just really pretty. And when you see them, you need to look at them, because normally they were a piece that was worked. This was a chopping stone that was in the video the other day that I picked up out of the creek. Fairly crude, not a whole lot of polishing on it, but a good bit of pecking. That's the blade side right there, and up here on this thicker edge is where your finger would lie up there. So they would hold it like that and just and chop with it, chopping up grains and dried beans, nuts, and things like that with it. And this little small axe head, pretty worn. See where it was grooved right here. Not much as much grooved on the other side over here, but really used a lot. That is not what I would consider a worn axe, because it's been used a lot. I think this is an axe head too. Probably was hafted right in here, but I don't think that was a worn axe. I think that was used everyday use. This one is another. I think this one is probably a worn axe here. A little bit different style. They've chipped off the sides here on the top here and the bottom to form this stone into this shape. Did a little bit of grinding right up in here, polishing in order to get the tip shaped on it. But I think what they would do with this type of axe head would be they probably would insert this into a large stick and then bind it with leather or hemp. But that's a nice piece. I found another one almost identical to it today. Little hammerstone up here. Really nice little piece here that's really worn. See, the cortex has really come off part of this stone from being used so much. But that's what I call a little biscuit hammerstone there. A little biscuit style. Nice example though. And this I'm calling a hand shovel. I'm pretty sure it was used for for digging. It's been polished and pecked off right in here. It's got a little groove there to fit in your hand a little bit better. It's been pecked off all in here and polished here. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was used for, just for digging in the soil, maybe planting seeds. That's a little bit big for just a regular corn or bean planter, but I think that's what it was used for, pretty sure. Pretty neat stone. And this is a big polishing stone. I don't think it's a grinder. It's made out of quartzite, but that's a grinding surface there, or polishing surface. You see it's worn pretty well around the edges, but that's a nice stone. I guess you could call it like a bell-shaped type stone. Just flat as can be and smooth. And this is what I would call a hand axe here. It would be held in the hand like this, and just used to to work wood, or maybe even to chop also, just to chop grains possibly. But that's a big one. I mean, I call this a hand axe because it would be held like that. Here's another one here, similar. This one, you can see the places where it's been worked a good bit more than the other stone there. The other stone's worn pretty well, but here's all been worked off all here in the back. Same idea. It'd be held in the hand like that. Been polished a good bit more than that one too, but that one's old and worn quite a bit. It's river worn quite a bit. This was in the other video, and that's that hammer that I found. I first thought it was blackstone, but actually it's granite, and it just unbelievable amount of oil that's in this stone. I'd really like to know how they did it, how they got this oil so thick into these stones. But that's some type of hammer. It could have been hafted, not real sure. Pretty neat piece though. Got it notched off on this back end here, so it could have been hafted or either inserted. And this piece here, I think, is a hide conditioner. It's possibly a chopper, but I think as small as it is, it was probably a hide conditioner. And what a hide conditioner does is that their furs and their skin, when they dry them out, they're very stiff. And so what they'll do is they'll take a stone like this with an edge, kind of a blunt edge like this, and they'll rub it over and over on that skin, and it ends up kind of bringing the oils out and starts actually loosening up the skin and makes it pliable and makes it where they can actually use it and make clothing, and where it's flexible to some degree, and make other things out of the hides. But without, if they don't condition it, it's going to be very stiff, and it's not going to be, it's not going to make a very good garment, because it's going to be so stiff. Here's a little thumb scraper. Pretty worn on the ends, kind of chipped off here on the ends here, but that was used to actually just scrape meat off the hide. A little dark oil from the thumb in here, right in there. And these are all my polishing stones, and you kind of, these things will fool you sometimes. You look at a stone like that and you go like, oh, that's just a rock, it's nothing to it. But when I've been doing this long enough to know that this on either side of this has actually been chipped off. That was done by man. And when you turn it over like this, you can see the polishing. There's the polishing part of it. So it was just a little small polishing stone that they just probably held like that and polished the small stones or other things that do. This was probably for some. It could have been maybe for pottery too, polishing pottery, but pretty neat little piece. And this stone here is kind of the same thing. You look at it and you're going, well, it's just a rock. It's not, there's nothing special about that. And then all of a sudden you look at this side and like, there it is. That's the polishing surface of this thing. I mean, this was a light glass. Got a little bit of green stone in that. Pretty stone. This one usually, these types were made for kind of polishing pottery. Another black stone. They love that material. It's real dense and heavy. Polishing stone. I forgot this one. This is a pretty neat one too here. This is two materials again. There's a polishing surface right there. A little bit black stone with a kind of quartz, white quartz on the top. Pretty neat stone. A little small polishing stone there. Really just as flat as can be. Granite. There's another one made out of a softer granite. Got a little bit of green speckles in it. Black stone polisher. Real dense again. This was a surface they used to polish. That surface there was used to polish. This one too. Here's a rectangular shaped one. This was pretty neat stone. Got a little hump in it. Really worn right there. Got a little bit of quartz on it there. It's a neat little piece. Somebody spent some time making that one, making it into a perfect rectangle. Here's one made of quartzite. Been pecked out all right in here. There's a polishing surface there. Quartzite's got a little bit of grit to it, so it does a good job of polishing, I'm sure. Here's one of granite. This is a part being a palm. I like finding these little stones like this. Easy to clean. Check that one out. That's kind of I'm not sure if that's a little bit of quartz in this with granite mixed, I think. And there's the top. That's where your palm would be. See the oils around the side where they would hold it. Look at that. Oils from the fingers. It's flat as a pancake, just like glass. And here's one that's triangular shaped that you can see Where the Cortex still right in here, but it's really worn around the edges. I'm not sure what they used to polish it with. Maybe pottery with that also. This is what I got today, and like I say, you guys stay well, and be praying for you. Hope everybody's doing well. Appreciate you tuning in.